Yeah, mate, that was tough to take. Very tough to take. In the balance of the first half, you would have thought there was only going to be one winner. And then we can see the set piece, which is disappointing after Adelaide, and we've spoken about it many, many times, about responsibilities inside the box. And then we've got an uphill battle. And again, I thought the guys came out in the second half and were still on the front foot, creating chances both in the first and second half. And we just lacked that cutting edge in the final third. We lacked that killer instinct. We lacked the mentality to go and score. And the more it goes on, and I think the position on the table and there's a little bit of anxiousness around the box. And that, for me, is somewhat disappointing because we keep encouraging them to actually go and take their chances. And again, goals change games. So all we need to do is take one chance. And then the game opens up for us, especially when we're on the front foot like that and we've got so much of the ball and creating so much. And then it's, well, you know what, you take one of those chances and they've got to then come out of their little hole. So look, I think as far as the team is doing, again, we're getting into positions to be able to score. We're having the majority of the possession, but we're not taking our chances. And again, those chances change games, those goals change games.
Yeah, with finals actually becoming more unrealistic as each game goes on, how do you frame things for the remainder of the season now that the lads got sort of goals year 7?
Well, look, mate, ever since we took over, it was always going to be a real rebuilding process. There's a lot of guys that are gaining experience through this. I think in most codes, clubs have years of rebuilding. And yes, results have been disappointing. I can't shy away from that. I'm disappointed at the results that we're getting, but the way the team is heading and the way they're playing at times is fantastic, and I think in due course that'll be even better. But yeah, it's a long-term build, and it's something that we need to keep reminding ourselves that these guys are going to get better, that eventually they are going to find that killer instinct, which comes with experience. Yeah, Josh, another debutant, one of many this year. He's been very good for the youth team and someone that brings a lot of presence up front. I thought he did extremely well when he came on. He had a chance to score with a header. So, look, he's another one for the future, another one that will then have time to be able to develop and mature and gain experience. And, he's definitely one for the future. Mate, I actually haven't seen it. I was sort of looking away at the time, so I actually haven't seen the challenge. But yeah, maybe a bit of common sense at that stage. But look, I haven't seen it, so I can't really comment.
Yeah, now we're feeling well. We've gone for a few games. Do you get Keo or Sturridge back for your next game?
Look, Andy's still sort of struggling a little bit. Daniel's still another week or two off. So yeah, it doesn't really get much easier from that point of view. But again, it's an opportunity for a young guy like Josh to come in and have experience, and that is something that we've always said, and that's something that has been definitely happening throughout the 2 years. And look, I think Andy's probably closer, and we'll have to test it this week. But yeah, let's hope we have that option. He's had a problem with I think it's his quad, so he's had a bit of a. Oh no, actually it's his hamstring. Yeah, it's his hamstring. So Andy's been struggling with a bit of tightness in his hamstring. It seems like it's a strain, but I don't think it is. We've checked it out, and it isn't. He's got all his power, and he's been running. So it's just about doing the football this week.
Yep, and Sturridge is a tiny bit behind Andy, so.
Yeah, I mean Daniel needs to build up. his groins and his quads to be able to then be ready to actually face the action. I think that's probably been the issues that we probably haven't had a lot of time between games for him to be able to train, and he's been training pretty hard over the last week or so. So hopefully he has another week, and then he'll be in contention.
Yeah, well, thanks for that.
Okay, Nick, do you want to jump in next?
Sorry, Joe. Yeah, Matty. Yeah, please. Hey, just a minute. Bit of a hard one, I know, but are you at the point now where there is the acceptance that you can't, not going to be able to make the finals, and where do you take the squad that in the back of your minds?
Sorry, mate, I missed that second part of the question.
Yeah, where do you go with the squad, knowing that they're probably too far to get to now, the finals?
Look, I think if you try and take that off the table, then it doesn't really have a great effect on the players. I think the players should still believe that they can make finals. All it takes is that one victory and that one goal to get us going in the right direction. I feel that momentum is a big thing, and we probably haven't had that bit of fortune, luck in games where it then gains momentum for us. So we just need that one game, and we can finish this season strongly. And I think that's probably going to be the main focus, is that we keep building towards what we want to achieve, which is improving as a group. I feel that the group has taken a lot of knocks this year and a lot of knocks last season as well. But, you can tell at times, even tonight at the back end, that confidence was low, because there's only so much you can take and there's so much you can try and go through before confidence is knocked. So I think the confidence is a bit knocked, but it's about us trying to build that confidence back up and keep them positive and keep them in the right frame of mind to be able to then move forward.
It is a hard ask, I guess, particularly with the age of some of the players you've got to get that confidence up when there really doesn't seem to be a reward at the end of it, does it?
No, definitely. I think you're right, but that's part of their development as players. I think everyone's been through it in their careers where, they've had down patches and, dips in form or, results not going their way. So that's part of their development as players, and that will only make them more resilient. The good thing about the league is that we have the opportunity to be able to do these things with the players and not have any relegation. And the consequences are that they just gain experience, and that's probably the biggest thing, is that these young guys are getting out there and they'll be better for it, come next season or the season after.
Just one more with Bruno wasn't as effective tonight as he had been all season. Was that just the way they marked him out and played him? Obviously, he wasn't worried about flying out tomorrow.
Yeah, I think he did okay. I don't think he was worried about flying out. I thought other people had chances tonight, and that's a good thing, that those guys are having chances because people want to mark Bruno. But we've got to start taking those chances. Bruno has played every single minute of probably every single game, so there'll probably be a little bit of fatigue in that. Him and Darryl Lackman have played pretty much every game, so that's good going, that they've been able to back up game after game after game. So, he'll get a little bit of refresher away with the national team. And yeah, look, I think it's a good thing that he's able to go play for Australia.
Without him in the side, because the role he plays, particularly when he holds for up, do you have to change the way you're going to play? Because you don't have that same sort of player there, do you?
Josh Nasmo's pretty big and can probably hold up the ball. I've seen it plenty of times. He's a big unit. So look, we'll look at it during the week, but that's part and parcel of having younger players, and they get their opportunities and then they can show what they've got.
Thanks, mate.
So.
Okay, Ash, any questions?
I just wanted to touch base just in relation to the starting lineup. It was
why I didn't change the starting lineup.
Yeah.
Because we dominated the game against Central Coast and we created plenty of chances. So there was probably no real need to change the starting lineup. And again, I thought first half we did the same.
And so where did you hear from Gloria? I know you said that, you know, finals could be a possibility if you do manage those 1 or 2 wins. But realistically, with your next fixture, how do you see that playing out?
As far as what, result or?
Result, I guess, ladder placement for the rest of the season ahead.
Again, we've got to focus on that next game, you're right, and that's what we are focusing on. And we need that momentum shift. I think that's the biggest one, is that we get the momentum shift and we get that first win. That gets that feeling back into the camp. You can feel that there's a little bit of tension within the group as far as anxious about not being able to get that win. So we've got to try and ease that and get them back to where they need to be able to then try and be successful. And then, you know, you win one and then you're hoping that feeling comes back into the camp and you start to have a run.
That's going to be my next question. Just with the boys in the camp at the moment, they're just feeling obviously a bit tense. Or
No, I think they're just a little bit disappointed because they can see that they're doing really well in games and they can see that they're dominating and they're creating chances and they're not taking them. So, you know, they feel disappointed at times, probably in themselves, that they're not taking those chances, and that's normal humans. You know, that's normal behaviour. So, look, it's about trying to keep them positive and keep them understanding that they are in a big chunks of the game playing good football and in big chunks of the game creating chances, and it's about relaxing in front of goal and making sure we're a little bit more ruthless in front of goal, because that's probably the most important bit. You know, we still are conceding some goals that we shouldn't be conceding, but I think that stems from us being on the front foot so much and trying to get those goals that we desperately need. But again, I think we've got the second or third best defence in the league. We've just got to up the other side of it and take the chances that we've been creating. And I think that's where the disappointment and anxiety stems from within the group, is that we know that we are doing well, but can't finish it off.
thank you, Jim.
So,
Okay, any further questions, guys?
I've just got one question, which just in relation to the amount of home games you've got left, and do you feel is there any pressure to perform as far as the squad goes, given that you've got so many home games in a row?
well, our next game's away. So, you know, we've had a few at home. Look, I felt the guys in the first home game felt, you know, like they wanted to really perform for the home crowd, and, you know, we didn't get the result that day, and it sort of snowballed from there. So it hasn't been a normal season, and it hasn't been one that has been easy, but at the same time, you know, the guys really want to perform for the home crowd, and that's partly maybe a bit of their anxiety that they want to do well and know that they can do well, but aren't getting it done in the 90 minutes.